Okay, welcome everybody. This is your April reading for 2020. I'd just like to thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and share the messages if you like. All are very much appreciated. So I did do a preview to this reading in my video list just before this one, talking about this time and maybe what's going on for you, and a little bit of information around what you could be doing to help yourself through at this time. So I'm not going to go into that now because I've already done that, and it's about 9 minutes. So go and check that reading out if you like. I'll just get straight into the reading for those that may have watched this and now wanting the reading. So I did start this reading, like I said, and then my children had a major fight out my door, so I had to stop it. So I have pulled one card already, and that was the High Priest, Intend and Create. And that's from your Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. And the main message of that is to recognize you have the power to change your life, okay? Face your fear and align with the light. And I feel that that's so important right now. So many people are feeling worried and in fear, and that's totally normal and understandable. But you need to recognize that you're doing that and that it may not be the best idea for you to be in that space all of the time. It's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to feel grief with everything that's going on and that we may have lost. And you need to acknowledge that and take time to heal. Yes, of course you do. But you don't want to stay in that energy, and you don't want to be in the fear all of the time because it just attracts more of it in. I want you to really know that what is happening right now is for our greater good, and it's part of our timeline, and it's only this amount of time right here, and our life takes up so much. So the more you can have a higher view about things, the better off you'll be. Don't get stuck and bogged down in the now. I know that can be hard. Okay, so what do you need to do to really help yourself stay high at this time? Breathe. Breathe. Center yourself as much as you need. Do things that nourish you, okay, that you love to do. So finding that old hobby, reading that book, spending time with those you love. I mean, I've been home with my children now for 3 weeks, and yeah, there's a couple of fights sometimes, but when else do we get to spend this time together? So really taking the positives of that and watching the videos together, playing games together, doing more things together is beneficial for everybody. So what this card is really saying at this time, it's important to intend and have our intentions about what we want to get out of this. So do we want to spend this time in fear and not get anywhere, just spin our wheels and have a really hard time? Is that what we want? Bad things are going to happen, okay? So I'm just going to say bad things are going to happen. Things are going to change. And that may cause a lot of emotions and grief in you right now, and that's perfectly understandable and normal. But you don't need to live and breathe that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the next 6 months, okay? What you need to do is just step out of that and give yourself the space and to allow some light in. So go, okay, this has happened. This is how I feel. What am I going to do about it? Or am I going to do anything about it? But also, what do I want to achieve with this time? What do I want to bring into the world? What do I want to create? What has this time given me? Okay, what gift is this presenting? Is it time to go and just read books and spend time with your family? Oops, sorry, my battery's running low. I thought I turned it on. Sorry, I'll be back in 1 second. I'm so sorry about that. I thought I'd had it turned on. So what is this time bringing? What is it creating? What is it allowing space for? Okay. So if you set your intentions about what you want to bring into the world, what you want to use this time for, you'll get so many more rewards on the other side. So that's one major message that's coming through. As I was setting up to read for you today about April, something that really came strongly in was setting up rituals, okay? Rituals that give you time, space, and strength. So rituals, something that brings you joy, can actually give you space to expand within yourself. So having that time every day to just take a time for you is going to help you grow exponentially. So whether it's meditating for 10 minutes every day, whether it's doing a yoga session every day in home, there's so many free ones online you can look up. And I know Down Dog, I think, is one app that had free classes for the whole of March and April, I think. Just check that out. But they were offering free access to the full version. So there are things like that. But maybe it's about taking a minute each day to light a candle and offer a prayer, or just lighting that candle and just watching it for a minute and just seeing what drops in for you, what information comes through. Maybe it's about spending that time to pick up a couple of crystals and see maybe what messages they're giving you for the day. So it's about creating that time and that space and the ritual that allows you to connect to your higher self and the higher realms. And by doing that, you're bringing yourself out of the fear space and the collective energies of fear at the moment, and you're connecting to a higher source, and that's allowing you to stay above and keep your vibration up while still probably processing and dealing with things on a physical level. You're just taking that time out each day to plug back into source, and that's really, really important for you right now. That was the message that came up in my yearly reading for everyone, was to create rituals and to create that space each day to do something. And they are bringing it forward again. They want us to do this. So you need to find something that brings you that space every day. Pardon me. And for me, I know it's actually been one of the things that they've wanted me to do, is do this kind of thing every day, and I haven't done that. So maybe it's a reminder for myself to intend and create there and to bring things online. Next message. So that was a really important message, and I spent about 8 minutes on that message, but that is a major one for the month. What are your intentions? What are you creating? What are you using this time for? Okay, that is what is needed right now, to focus on the positives and what you can do with this time. Like in my yearly reading, I said focus on the silver linings, and this is what it's about. Focusing on the gift that this time is giving you and using it to your advantage. The second card we got was Lilac Fire Dragon. And it says, transmutes through the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. Like I was saying, Spirit wants us to open up and connect with them every day. And by doing that, we're bringing in the higher source codes. We're opening up to love. We're not opening up to, we're shutting down the fear, okay? We're opening up to that higher love, divine love, and it's going to flow through us and to everyone that's around us. And it will transmute the lower energies that are around us at this time. So Lilac Fire Dragon is helping us to do that, to help us open up to love, enlightenment, and purity of heart. So staying in that peaceful place, in our peaceful heart and in our loving heart, will bring peace, hope, and joy. And I just want to share with you some wonderful things that have happened for me. I've had a neighbour that I've never met bring us a bunch of apples that were on her tree because she heard my kids outside playing and knew I had children, so she just dropped them off the other week. I had another neighbour buy us a dinner that they spent money on, a beautiful dinner for the kids and I, and just dropped it off. You know, I've had some wonderful. I had another neighbour bringing me apples that she'd picked up from a lady at her work that had a tree and had too much. I've had, some wonderful, wonderful gifts of kindness. And that's what we need to focus on. And that's what I'm so grateful for. And that's what I'm so grateful for this time for, is that people have gone out of their way to show that kindness and generosity of spirit. And it's just so heartwarming, and I'm so grateful, and it has helped us out. And I hope to be able to pass that on as well. So opening and being pure to heart and love and divine source opens the space for that generosity to come in. So allow for that, okay, because it's out there, and there's beautiful people out there in the world just willing to share and give. And I can feel my Reiki centers on my hands warming up right now. It's just such a joyful and peaceful thing to do. So my Reiki is just flowing. So I hope you can feel that. And it's distracting me. I'm sorry, but that's the whole point, is to help everyone elevate and not be in that lower state of fear. It's just not helpful, and it's okay to acknowledge it and to grieve, but we need to step out of that as much as we can and open up to divine source as much as we can, and that love from the universe, seeing the silver lining in things, being open to community, being open to kindness and giving, and being a whole. And that's one message that April is about, okay, allowing ourselves to open up. Allow yourself to open up and accept and be generous and accept generosity, and knowing that by doing so, you're helping the whole field elevate as well. Okay. What other messages do I want to bring forward right now? I can just feel, I hope you can feel that Reiki energy. Yeah, I could really feel it flowing right then. I'm not sure what cards I want to go to right now. Let me just think for a second. You know, there's no real cards that are really speaking out to me. Usually I do a reading and I'm like, right, I'm going to pull a card from this deck and then I'll go to this deck. I think Spirit's just wanting me to talk right now. Trusting my own guidance and my own channeling. And usually I just get the card and it just gives me, you know, guidance about where the message is going or what's coming through. I'm just, yeah. So I just pulled one of my own cards, and it's about knowing that we're always protected. We are always loved, and we are always guided and protected. And also to make sure that we do protect our own energy. So there is a lot of negativity out there right now and a lot of fear. So protect yourself from that. And I think by doing our rituals every day, that will really help. But, you know, Spirit is planning this. This is part of it, okay? In my reading for 2020, I sort of saw it, and I didn't really know what I was, the messages were about, but there's more to come. There is more to come. But we don't want to be in fear about it. There's a lot of fear being spread out there, and I just want to remind yourself to try and stay elevated above it as much as you can. And I think by being by completing a ritual and being in that space every day, we're allowing ourselves to connect back into our own self. And that's something that Spirit really wants us to do, is to be our own unique self, to trust in our own uniqueness. There's so many that want help from outside. Yeah, I know this is a bit controversial, but I'm kind of a bit awestruck in the way that so many people have lost their jobs, and it's a horrible thing, but so many are also asking for a handout at the same time. And I just wonder, how is that? I don't know how to say this, but there needs to be a place where we take our own self responsibility for things. The old adage used to be, you should always have 3 months worth of savings in your bank account. And I know I'm someone who's behind in everything. So I'm not, I'm one of these people that doesn't have that. And it's been very hard in our society to have that. But I think that's what Spirit wants to bring through, is that self-reliance a bit more. We're always so reliant on everyone else that when things happen and the system goes down, what do you do? So I think there needs to be a bit more self-reliance while at the same time being community-minded. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out that way, but you need to be self-reliant, but not at the cost of others, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we need to be in a place where we're okay on our own, and because of that, we can then help others. We're not stepping on each other to get up to the top and be self-reliant. We are self-reliant in our own right, and then because of that self-reliance, it then flows on to everyone around us. So I think that's a big message that I'm seeing for this month, is really in my face about taking that responsibility of being reliant. And while it's great to have help and it's such a blessing, how do you sit in this? What role have you played in this? And what role would you like to play in the future? What needs to be changed? It's just thoughts for pondering right now, and it's a message that I'm getting through that we really should be taking note of. How are we caring for ourselves and our family? And how are we caring for our neighbours and the people around us and our communities? Because while we exist as an individual, we exist as a whole. And part of that self-responsibility is not just about, I've just lost it. So as part of that self-responsibility is also taking responsibility for our community. Does that make sense? So that it's not sitting back. We're not sitting back waiting for someone else to fix the problem over there. It's about us recognizing, there's a problem over there. How might I help contribute towards that? And I think that's a big lesson that Spirit's wanting us as a collective to really work through at this time. So it's not just about us as an individual expecting someone else to take responsibility for something. We take responsibility in our own lives, and then we also help take responsibility in the greater whole. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. I'm actually going to leave that there. I feel like those are the messages that Spirit wants to send out for April. So it was about having intention and creating our space at this time and what we want to bring in. and opening up to source and being connected and allowing that love to come through to help us stay elevated, and it can flow on to everyone else. And also keeping us above the fear and the matrix of fear that's spreading out. There's some big changes this year, and it's about us recognizing our own part in it, and how we might contribute to the solution. So that's what April's about. It's a pretty powerful month. We have Easter in the middle, but I just want to remind you all to take that time for you to center in yourself, to know yourself, because you are an important person in this world, a very important person, and you do have an effect on everyone around you. So take care of yourself and love yourself and stay in touch and reach out if you need to, and know that we will get through this. This is part of a general thing, so don't buy into the fear right now. Stay above it. Grieve if you need to grieve anything. Go through whatever you need to work through, okay? But just make sure that you give yourself that time and that space to also be in touch with yourself. And I think we've said for a few years that it's about authenticity in this world and who we are and how we show that to other people. And this is about responsibility in that authenticity, and not just saying that we're someone, but actually we are doing what we say we are and having some responsibility for that. So I hope that makes sense. I'd love for you to leave a message and see if that does. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that so much. And share my messages if you will. I feel like I'm over here sprouting the good stuff, and and I feel like I'm helping with positive messages because that's what's coming through for me. And I am someone who's holding that light, I feel, for most people. So if you can spread those messages, I know they can be a bit long-winded at times, but it's just the way I am, and it's just the way I channel and the way I talk. But yeah, I'd love for you to spread that message around instead of one of fear. That would be really, really powerful, and I thank you in that. And I will try and be on here more. And and I send you so much love and blessings, and can't wait to see you soon. Okay. Cheers, guys. Bye.